are joining us for day 4 of our themed week here on Property Tribes. We are calling it Take Control of Your Portfolio Week, and it's in association with LendLord, and I'm joined throughout the week by Avram Shahar, co-founder of LendLord. And Avram, we've kind of divided the week up into 3 sections: invest, manage and finance, because those are kind of 3 of the processes that all landlords will go through when they're wanting to take control of their portfolio. And for today, we're back into the manage session. And I think throughout this week, we're so keen to encourage landlords to actually take control of the things that they can control, because everybody's aware that there's so many things out there that landlords have zero control over, that we really want them to focus on the things that they can control, and make sure that they fully understand their portfolio for every angle, because we're in such challenging times.
Yes, absolutely. And, we encourage users, landlords, to use the platform or any digital platform to keep track their property details, and also very important issues. It can be also related to compliance. For instance, renew their gas safety certificate, or just track their landlord insurance due dates, mortgage product expiry dates, tenancy agreement expiry dates. It's time perhaps to inspect the property, it's time to review the rent. And even if you manage only 1 or 2 properties, there are many things you need to take care of. And I think the great thing with technology and digital tools, that they will do it for you. So they will not renew the gas safety certificate for you, although you can start an online process for that, but they will remind you on time that you need to do something, or this is time to act. So I think definitely users should do that.
Well, indeed. And within LendLord, within the manage module, there is the place to actually put in all your compliance, all your reminders. And we always say this, don't we, Avram? You only have to do it once. You have to input that data once, and then after that, the system picks it up and it will remind you of, when an EPC is due, when a gas safety certificate is due. And this is so important for compliance, for a safe and compliant home, but it's also helping landlords who want to self-manage and actually save, the cost of paying for an agent to manage. So, LendLord really is the landlord's friend in this regards.
Yes. Exactly. So for sure, for landlords who manage their properties by themselves, or landlords that want to start managing by themselves, yes, landlord definitely can help with tracking all the key events, and also the interaction with the tenants.
Well, should we have a look at the due dates reminders? Because in a way, it's almost like a little checklist of everything that you need to be compliant with. So this indeed may help newbie landlords who are self-managing. And Avram's showing us there's a lot of things that you need to be across, that you need to have control of. Do you just want to talk us through that, Avram?
Yes, absolutely. So the best way to enter the data is from your My Portfolio page. When you add your first property, or you can add your first property with very minimal information and then tweak it and add more data. So if you go through the sections, so you will see in each section you will have some dates. I'm just filling some details. For instance, on the mortgage section, you will find the rate expiry date for your mortgage product. So let me put some figures here. Actually, now it's more like 5. And then, you need to put the expiry date, and then you will receive an alert, a notification to your email, and also in-app notification when it's come to an end, or like when you need to renew let me just select this, when you need to renew or transfer the product.
And it's also so helpful to be reminded of when there's an early repayment charge in place. I've made the rookie error before LendLord came along, where I sold a property and I'd forgotten that there was an ERC, and I think I ended up with a bill of about £7,000 for the early repayment charge. So, if you have got more than one property, it is hard to keep track of them all, and this is really where LendLord comes into its own.
Yes, absolutely. Then you have on the landlord insurance section, the insurance end date. On the gas safety certificate section, the gas certificate due date. And again, on the electrical check and the EPC as well. So this is like one way to create those dates, the notifications. When you save the property, you will see it on the alerts section.
And you can choose the frequency of and the timings of when you get the alerts, when there's something that you need to do, some action you need to take. You can completely customize it to how you want to receive the notifications, can't you?
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Go to the settings page and then just configure the frequency of the alerts. Yeah, it's very configurable. And I have like a tip from the dashboard, the portfolio overview. You can use this button, add missing due dates. So let's say that you already configured your entire portfolio and you missed some due dates to type in some due dates. Then you have a quick wizard with the property address, and then you just need to put the dates. So the EPC due date, update, then the insurance end date, and you can update it. So it's easy way to just input all the relevant key events and due dates and create the alerts. And the last page you can review is the page in the Insights tab. And here you can see the next key events, and also you can do some actions. So for instance, on the gas certificate, you can place an order online. On the insurance renewal, you can start contact the insurance broker to get some quotes, etc. So it's also very useful.
Yeah. And it's all, as we've been saying throughout the week, it's all on one dashboard. So you're not going to lots of different places. All your work is centered on this one dashboard. And we're giving a very quick overview today, but we really want to whet your appetite to dive into LendLord and start using it. And if you do want a little bit of extra help with the functionality and the interface, you can contact LendLord and book a demo. And there's also the chat function as well. The whole LendLord team is there to support you in getting you up to speed with using the functionality. So really today we're just trying to encourage people actually to dive in and start to understand what an amazing tool that LendLord is for landlords.
Yes, exactly. And I think, Vanessa, the second topic is the cash.
Yeah, the second topic was cash flow. And clearly, this is probably one of the most important things that landlords need to keep control of, particularly, in the period that we're in at the moment, at the time of recording, when we're experiencing interest rate rises. I think we've had 12 or 13 so far over the last 12 months or so, and we think they're going to go up again and again, which is bad news for landlords. But again, this is something you can really take control of. Understand your cash flow, and you'll quickly understand if you've got an SVR and the rate has gone up because of a bank rate rise, how that's going to impact that particular property's cash flow. But also, it can have an impact on the rest of your portfolio as well. So managing your cash flow is absolutely vital.
LendLord is a great platform to track your cash flow. And the great thing with that is that you can actually automate the entire processes. And the best page for that would be under Manage Cash Flow, the transactions page. And here you can find your options. You can either add transaction manually, scan a receipt, and then when you scan a receipt, the platform will read the data from your receipt or from your invoice, so you don't need to type it in. you can link your bank account or zero organization. And for me, it's the recommended way to do it, because then the platform will retrieve your transactions every 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And we do use Plaid as our, I will just show like the brand. Plaid is our provider, and Plaid is authorized by the FCA to implement the open banking, and LendLord is authorized to be an agent of Plaid.
Mm-hmm.
So once you connect your bank account, then the platform will do the work for you, and you can apply rules. So for instance, if you have a rental income that is coming in on the 3rd of every month, you will just need to allocate it on the first time to the property and to the tenant, and then every month it will be tracked automatically.
Mm-hmm.
We do have an import option, so you can actually put a spreadsheet with your income and expenses and allocate them to the properties. And of course, you can also export the data. So after you allocate the transaction, you will be able to review it on your profit and loss page. So you can see the income and expenses for each month. And of course, you can apply filters. So if you want to see just a specific property, I need to find properties with cash flow, then you can basically apply this filter. And then you have the reports, and on the reports, you can generate a P&L report. You can select the period. It can be this month, last month, or the last financial year. Okay. And you have the property breakdown P&L, so you can see actually the income and expenses for each property.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the expenses breakdown, very important to see like the distribution of your costs based on a category. And you can see all the transactions here as well. And the income breakdown is the same just for the income side.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have a tax report that will tell you how much tax basically you need to pay based on the data you entered. And we have a feature also to file your tax return automatically to the HMRC, using integration with Untied, a digital tax software provider. So yes, I think for small landlords with 4 or 5 properties, they can actually manage their accounts on LendLord. For large portfolio landlords, it's still viable, but if you use Xero or QuickBooks or any other software, that's fine. You can just use LendLord to track the performance of the properties. So just to understand the cash flow of each property, that is very important. And then I would use the interactive report to go over property by property and see the cash flow performance. So you can see, also you can see the rank of this property if you compare it to other properties in your portfolio. This is a great way to make decision to see if this property is a good investment or not, make decisions based on that. So yes, so LendLord is a great place to manage your cash flow, keep track, and basically apply also automation using the open banking.
Absolutely amazing. We should point out that Plaid is one of the premium services, and you can pay annually or monthly for that. And that Abraham, it doesn't LendLord doesn't get access to your bank account, does it?
No, not at all. So it's very secured. We don't have any access to your credentials. We only get read-only access through Plaid to get the newest transactions and upload them to the platform. And of course, no one can access your data, and we don't pass in any of your details to third parties.
I think it's so important to go down to that granular level on the cash flow, because certainly a lot of newbie landlords in particular will say, well, the mortgage is £500 a month and the property's earning £1,000 a month, so I'm making £500 per month. But they don't take into account things like insurance premiums. Maybe it's a flat with a service charge, maybe there are some repairs, maybe they've got rent guarantee insurance, and there's lots of things that can really nibble away at the cash flow. And you've just got to be aware of whether a property is profitable or not, because if not, unless you've got very significant other income, you should certainly think about whether that property is worth keeping. The capital that you have in that property is it working as hard for you if you actually sold that property and bought a different, better performing property? So I think all of these metrics are so valuable to landlords in terms of, as you said, helping to make decisions, and also really understanding their portfolios down to a granular level. And we're going to keep on stressing it. It's so important in the current challenging market and economic conditions that we're in. And it really does help mitigate your risk as well to understand your portfolio on that level. And, you know, that was always your dream, wasn't it, Avram, for LendLord, to be this one place where landlords could go and they just had everything at their fingertips that they needed to know and understand about their portfolio.
Yes, yes, definitely. I think, and not just that, like the vision of landlord is also to help landlords grow their portfolios. So, but I think the baseline is to understand what I have now, like what is my current situation and where I can, you know, go from here. And I think the next session that we will have about finance is also an important key for that. So you already built like your portfolio. Now let's see how you can leverage more, or how, if there is an option to start growing your portfolio, but growing it wisely. You know, like make sure that you're not increasing your risk level dramatically, or if you know if you actually can do it or not, and what are the steps you need to do in order to do it. So
Yes,
definitely everything is in one place. Definitely this is our vision.
yes. And the final section that we'll be in on the LendLord platform is the finance section, as Avram just alluded to. And finance is the lifeblood of your property business. Without it, unless you're exceedingly cash rich, you're really going to struggle. So I hope you'll join us tomorrow for our 5th and final installment of Take Control of Your Property Portfolio Week with myself and Avram. We're going to end on how to finance your deals through the LendLord platform, both standard mortgages, and also you can access bridging finance as well, which is a very useful tool for landlords and property investors. So do join us tomorrow for the final installment, but for now, goodbye.
Goodbye. Thanks you, Vanessa.